Medical workers save lives, sometimes in the most dangerous conditions.
The International Committee of the Red Cross mission in PNG, fellow members of the diplomatic corps and stakeholders reflected upon 70 years of Geneva Conventions. The 4 conventions of 1949 protect all people affected by armed conflict, even non-international ones, irrespective of race and religion. ICRC head of mission in PNG, Ahmed Halak, said the conventions remain as necessary and life-saving as they were intended to be.
International humanitarian law makes no judgment on the motive of fighting. We never ask why anybody is fighting. The Geneva Conventions state that every person who is not or no longer actively participating in the hostilities is entitled to protection and must be treated with humanity. Everyone.
The Geneva Conventions are made up of 4 treaties and 3 additional protocols that create the standards of international law for humanitarian treatment in war. The conventions broadly defined the basic rights of wartime prisoners, established protection for the wounded and sick, and also established protection for the civilians in and around a war zone. The International Committee of the Red Cross is at the origin of the conventions and directs and coordinates the international activities in armed conflicts and other situations of violence. A group of panelists brought about their views on the conventions in the PNG context.
National security environment is very unique in that we really don't have an armed conflict in Papua New Guinea. Our conflict is very peculiar to the place in the world that we find ourselves in. We are mostly have a lot of security related.
Have predated the Geneva Conventions. There's certain elements of it that have been respected in pre-Geneva Convention Papua New Guinea.
Police Minister Brian Kramer outlined that the convention develops issues of principle.
The paper until someone decides to enforce it. And everything around the law is enforcement. And also what does the principles that laws provide rules. And then if there's no rules, then you'll typically have conflict and chaos.
It is clear that respect for international humanitarian law is possible and that its implementation makes a meaningful difference. Lilian Sopera Kinea, National, MTV News.